Poveglia is a little island in the Venice lagoon. Contrasting the beauty of the picturesque Italian city, the island has a dark and infamous story and reputation. When Europe was devastated by the first wave of bubonic plague, in Venice the number of dead and dying people was too high to manage. Rotting corpses were piling up, rendering the stench unbearable, and it was clear that something had to be done. Local authorities decided to use Poveglia as a human landfill. Hundreds of corpses were transferred on the isle, where they were buried in mass graves or burned. When the plague became even worse, people were taken over by panic, and anyone who showed the smallest symptom associable with the Black Death was removed from their home and dragged on the island amongst their screams. All the potential infected, including children and even babies, were taken onto the island and thrown in the same graves with rotting cadavers, left to die in agony. In just a couple of years, 160,000 bodies were eliminated. The island's ground, mixed with the carbonized remains of the bodies, formed a layer of slimy ashes, which dried up under the sun's heat, resulting in a powder that attacks the lungs. To this day, fishermen avoid going near the island, as the chances of picking up the remains of a body are alarmingly high. However, this isn't the end of this dark piece of land. In 1922, a psychiatric hospital was built, a huge building with a magnificent bell tower. Shortly after its opening, patients reported seeing ghosts, victims of the plague, and hearing whispers coming from the walls. The stories weren't given any credit, though, as they were words of mentally insane patients after all. The hospital was managed by an ambitious doctor determined to make a name for himself by making a medical breakthrough and discovering the causes of the patient's madness. He conducted several experiments, rough to say the least. Lobotomies were performed with a handrail, or even with a hammer and a chisel. The most terrible tortures took place in the tower. After years, the doctor himself started seeing the ghosts of those who had died during the plague, and he slowly descended into madness, until one night he jumped from the top of the tower. Miraculously, he didn't instantly die. A nurse claimed that while he was agonizingly dying on the ground, a mysterious fog entered his body and claimed his life. It is reported that some nights people can hear the bells ringing throughout the lagoon. After the doctor's death, the hospital was shut down, and nobody was allowed to set foot on the island again. Recently, though, a family gained the permission to visit. However, they came back before night fell, terrorized, but refusing to report what had happened. The only known fact is the daughter had a deep wound that needed 14 stitches. The few thrill-seekers who managed to sneak onto the island always come back swearing to never go back again, as the moaning and screams are unbearable, as is the overwhelming feeling of intense evil. Hello, I am the Gothic Librarian. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please leave a comment, a thumb up, and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me a lot. If you have a story you want to share, a request for my next video, or ask me anything, you can contact me through my email, my Facebook page, my Twitter and Instagram accounts, which are all linked down below. I will see you at my next public reading here at the Gothic Library. In the meanwhile, feel free to take a look around, and keep in mind, it's in the dustiest books that you may find the best stories.